I mean, what are we doing here? You talk about the left and the right. Well, he's been handed everything he's ever wanted, and yet he still can't seem to message properly.
Message properly, but if you're talking about like restraint and use of military assets, Trump is merely the symptom of the problem. This is the thing.
He's the head of state.
No, hold on. You don't do this so much, but I know a lot of other people on the Democratic side do. And it's Donald Trump's the king. He's the dictator. He's the source of all of the United States' problems. The only reason the executive has so much imperial power is because every president has accrued yet more power than the previous president. And here's the issue. That's nonpartisan. That doesn't get the Republicans to be able to point at the Democrats and say, well, you're more powerful than we are. It doesn't get the Democrats to be able to point at the Republicans and say, but you're the king. You're the dictator. Because when you truly have to get to where we are, it is the need of Congress in both parties to reassert their prerogatives and do this, and not do it on a partisan basis as Chris Coons and Chuck Schumer did. They did it on a partisan basis, but they were absolutely and completely fine with President Biden, with a mere executive order, ordering a strike on the Houthis using bunker buster bombs, using B-2 Spirit bombers that cost $2 billion a piece. And he didn't see any need to go to Congress. And here's the problem. Whichever party is in power, for political reasons, points the thumb back to the other party. And it doesn't do any good, because the truth is the executive simply gets more powerful. If the criticism was the executive is too powerful, we need to take his rights down. We need to take the power of the presidency down a notch. I would be with that. When the Democrats had all the levers of power, David, they didn't see any need to shrink down any of the powers of the executive, thus giving Trump a platform and a precedent to claim his use of modern executive authority.
Yeah, but we're talking.
Okay,
yeah.
We got to move on.
Yeah,
because it's 29 after the hour, and the other folks on the stage would appreciate it if we move on.
No way. Sounds good, Gary. All right.
Okay, Michaela.
Yeah, I have a meeting in 1 minute, but I was an organizer for the Nuclear Freeze campaign back in the 80s, 1980, and I think it's time that I know that Trump is interested in disarmament, and I think it's time that maybe this will trigger the world to start working in that area. But I really, when Israel started this, they knew that they'd need the U.S. to provide to the bunker busters for Fordo, and so I don't like that. I don't like that, and I think that Trump waiting gives time for the people of Iran to do something now. They've been trying for years. This is their time. So I hope and pray we have a miracle like when the Soviet Union fell. It fell, boom, like that, with no warning, without violence. I'm praying for something like that again. I gotta go.
Thank you, Michaela. Saman. Saman. Anson.
To the question of the room, no, Israel should not stand down by any stretch of the imagination. They should keep maximum pressure campaign until this thing runs its course. The MAGA rift over Iran, okay. There are people that on the right that don't want to, for the United States to be involved in any way. So to speak, people like Bannon. Bannon's not in there, but he's still feeding the fire. You've got people still feeding the fire. You've got people like that trying to undercut each other within the administration. You want to see how that worked? Read two books. Read H.R. McMaster's book, which I referenced.